everyone, welcome to week 1 of your Advanced Computers course. I am Sarah Davis and I will be your instructor for the next 9 weeks. This course is going to be covering 2 of the topics in this particular textbook. So when you're looking at your Office 2013 textbook, we're only going to be covering 2 of the sections. We're going to be covering the section on Access and the section on PowerPoint. So we're going to spend the first half of the course talking about Access, second half talking about PowerPoint. And what I'm going to try to do as we're going through this is to kind of, these slides that are available to you, they have a lot of detail about how to actually, use the software. So what I'm going to try to do when I give you my little spiel each week is to kind of give you some highlights of what's on the slides, some things I want to make sure that you notice, and also kind of bring in why you might use this in the field of pharmacy. So that's what I'm going to focus on my presentation each week. So not necessarily going through the step-by-step pieces, but how is this going to apply to you in your real-world settings. Now, the one thing I want to make sure to point out to you this very first week is that there are several different things for you to do in the textbook as you go through. So there's lots of different activities. If you look at the syllabus, it says you need to read this, but then also complete these in-class activities. So what that means is you need to do those on your own. So you're going to go through the textbook and you're going to actually complete those activities as you go through and do the reading. And it really does just take you through it step by step. It'll say, click this, then click that, and so on. It'll give you pictures in your textbook and everything. So it's really important that you do those exercises before you attempt to do the assignments each week. Because if you don't, if you just jump right into the assignment, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense unless Access is something you've used quite a bit before. And then in addition, a couple of the weekly assignments, at least for this first part for Access, is going to have you print and then submit what you printed. And so what I ask that you do for that is to actually just print it to a PDF file. And if you don't know how to do that, I've included those instructions in my week 1 announcement. So make sure you read that week 1 announcement. It'll give you a free PDF download that you can click on, and then it'll walk you through the steps in order to change anything you're printing into a PDF so that you can easily submit it for grading. If you have any questions over the next 10 weeks, please make sure you reach out to me. My email address as well as my phone number that you can call or text is found in my instructor contact information. And I think that's about it for the beginning part of this. So let's just kind of jump into chapters 1 and 2 for this week. And let me just point out some high-level things that you need to make sure you understand when working with Access. So chapter 1 is all about managing and creating tables. So what we're doing here is, we're just compiling data. We're putting data into a container, so to speak, that we can easily access and use, hence the name Access. So in this data, we might have things like, for example, maybe we're working in a pharmacy and we want to keep a list of all of our customers. So that customer list might include their names and addresses and phone numbers, and things along those lines. So that would be the type of thing that we might include in a table. So this, like I said, this first chapter is going to walk you through the exploration of the database. It's going to start by showing you how to actually get into Access in your computer. Now, if you're using a computer, if you've got Windows 8 and you can't find that Access 2013 tile, use that little magnifying glass. So just do, File Explorer, something like that, or the magnifying glass, either one. So if you go to File Explorer or the magnifying glass, just type in the word Access, and then you can find it that way too. So if it's not one of your tiles, you can still get to it. Okay, so don't panic if you can't find it, just search for it. And then it's going to kind of walk you through, okay, now once you've opened it, what do we do? How do we open a blank database? And then what are we going to do with that database? And they're going to walk you through step by step by step on how to do that in this first chapter, in chapter 1. And then the second chapter that you're going to cover is chapter 2. And this is where you're going to create relationships between tables. So you might have more than one table in a database. So say we created a table and it's got all kinds of patient information in one database. Well, maybe the next database includes all of the insurance information that we have. We have all kinds of information about, the different types of insurance companies, etc. And then how can we create a relationship between those two tables? So that's what the second chapter of this week's work is going to be all about. So again, if you have any problems or questions as you go through the reading, please make sure you reach out to me, and have a great week.